Hello, my loves. It is Jade here, and in this video, I am excited to share my secrets for transforming busy businesses into smooth running machines. I'm going to show you how I help myself and my clients boost income and reclaim freedom by working smarter, not harder. So if you are ready to escape the hustle and systemize your way to more income and more freedom, then you are in the right place. Now, if you're new to my world, I know you might be skeptical. You might be thinking, will this really work for me? And that's totally okay. I get it. I've been there. And my job isn't to convince you or tell you that my way is the only way, but it is to show you what's possible. So I simply want to share what's been working for me and my clients in hopes that you gain some insights that you can apply to your own business. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a really simple invitation. So then if you do want my help in partnering with you to implement some of these things alongside of you, then you can take advantage of that. And if not, that's totally cool. We can go our separate ways. And I really just hope this is a helpful training for you anyway. No strings attached, no expectations, just enjoy and get something out of this if you can. So before we dive into all of that, let's talk about who this is not for and who this is for. So this is not for you if you're a complete beginner. I love you and I'm cheering you on, but that's really not the phase of business that I'm here to do my best work in and to really be able to support you. So if you have no idea what you offer or haven't made any money online yet, or if you're looking for a quick fix, overnight success, or magic solution without putting in any effort, and if you're not open to change and aren't ready to invest time in setting up systems that will benefit you in the long run, then this is probably not for you. You can keep watching if you want, maybe you'll learn something, but really it's unlikely that what I've got to share is for you. So you can totally walk away now and there's no hard feelings. But this is for you if you're already clear on your offers and you've seen some success selling them, but you're starting to get tired of spending time on repetitive tasks and constantly putting out fires and doing all of the manual day-to-day operations and handling. You want to focus on doing what you actually love and putting energy into things that will actually grow your business and reach more people. You want to be doing your ideas and your creativity. And you want business to be fun and easy and want to create something you're actually excited to show up for. Something that doesn't feel like work and works around your lifestyle. We've all heard the saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, to me, that's the ultimate goal, and that's what this is all about. So if you resonate with any of that, stick around because what I'm about to share can truly transform your business and give you the freedom you've been seeking. But before we get into that, let me introduce you to my world and how I got to this place so then I can walk you through step by step so that it's most helpful for you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 35 years old and I've been living the digital nomad lifestyle on and off since 2016. That has led me to live in Bali, travel all over the US, South America, Europe, Asia, and live in some of the most beautiful places in Australia. I grew up in Perth, one of the most isolated cities in the world. If you've been there, you'll know what I mean. So I've always had a passion for exploring faraway places. Plus, all my grandparents are Italian, so my love for travel started really young as my parents took me to the motherland when I was just 18 months old, and I've been traveling ever since. Now, if you know Italians, you can probably imagine I grew up in a pretty traditional Catholic household and did all the good girl things. I graduated high school with top grades, went on to uni to study a bachelor's in media and communications, majoring in journalism and professional writing. I did the whole plan where you go to school, go to uni, get a job. But while I was in uni, I got a part-time job at a bank. And once I graduated and realized I could make way more money in the bank than starting at the bottom in print media, I decided to stay there. So over the next 10 years, I traded my passion for writing, travel, and arts for the corporate ladder climb. On the outside, it looked like I was living the dream life with all the money and corporate perks, and I was really good at it. I won multiple awards over the years. I got to attend epic conferences. I was always top market share. And on the outside, it looked like I really had the picture perfect life. But inside, my soul was dying. And eventually that led me to be stressed, depressed, and on a psychologist's couch. So in 2016, I discovered an online business opportunity through an affiliate marketing company. Some random people I saw on the internet were promoting this thing, and it sounded really cool. And a few clicks later, I was signed up for it. And then a few weeks later, I was in New Zealand meeting a bunch of random people from the internet so I could learn everything from them. And just after that, I was in the Philippines for New Year's, where I started to wake up to my first affiliate commission. So I realized this internet money making thing was real, and I decided to take a career break to give it a real shot. I went to the US for some company events, and by the time I got back, my mentors had invited me to live in Bali with them. So I quit my job, and the day I was due to return to work, I was flying to Bali to start my new life instead. Over the next few years, I was living the high life, making epic commissions and rubbing shoulders with millionaires at all these fancy events. But that came crashing down in 2018 when the company unexpectedly got shut down for fraud. I spent the next few years fumbling my way through different business models: influencer work, blogging, coaching, and course creation. And all of this was still based around my travel lifestyle until in 2020 when the world shut down and I couldn't travel anymore. So I had to majorly pivot. I hired a mentor, and she could see I was really good at doing all the things. So she hired me to do some work for her. One thing led to another, and that led me to become the go-to tech girl for basically everyone in her network. And from 2020 to 2022, I had a thriving business which funded my magical Sunshine Coast and Byron Bay lifestyle. I was supporting all kinds of coaches, artists, and facilitators, and got to work on all kinds of epic projects, from music festivals to album launches and ritual retreats to your standard online course delivery stuff. But it got to the point where I couldn't handle the demand and decided I should start teaching people how to do what I do. It was a great idea in theory. I thought I could train all these women and then build an agency. But I had no idea what I was doing when it came to the agency side, and ended up giving away all of these clients for free, not knowing how to actually monetize that side of things. But at the time, I wasn't really worried about that because I had my long-term clients and I thought I was all good. Then in 2023, the unthinkable happened. I decided to pack up my Byron Bay life and go traveling again after 3 years of staying in Australia due to the lockdown years. And just as I was about to leave, for various different reasons, all my clients cancelled. Some decided to end their businesses, some decided they weren't growing quickly enough and needed to downsize their teams, and some just decided to go in completely different directions and it wasn't aligned anymore. And because I'd been giving all my newest referrals to my students, I had no wait list and no clients to fall back on. But I decided to go traveling anyway and convinced myself I'd set up the foundations while I was traveling. Now, if anyone's gone traveling with a business that's on shaky foundation, you'll know that that didn't quite go to plan. But it turned out to be the best thing I could have done. It gave me time away to do what I love and to review things and come back with clarity and a new energy about how I wanted to move forward. In the book Clockwork, Mike says your business needs a vacation from you so it doesn't depend on you. Now, I didn't quite have a business that was running, but I totally stand by this because what that time away allowed me was the clarity to realize how to actually create the foundation so that my business wouldn't be running so chaotically anymore. So let me walk you through what this looks like. But before we take a look at that, let's just have a look at the history that I just shared with you. So this was my corporate lifestyle where on the outside it looks pretty fancy and luxurious. I was nominated for awards. I was attending all these fancy events. I was mingling with people. I had this epic social life, but I was also working ridiculously long hours and crying myself to sleep in the office at night. And it just wasn't fulfilling doing the work I was doing. Then this is affiliate years where I moved to Bali. I was building this epic business, attending all of these fancy events, building teams, networking, traveling all over, making ridiculous, amazing commissions, doing very little work, and really experiencing what the dream laptop digital nomad lifestyle could be like. And then this was the COVID years where I worked closely with teams and I started to build systems, build programs, do epic photo shoots, support in facilitation, and really hone in on my skills as somebody who can help other businesses systemize and streamline and really get clear on their operations. So, as I mentioned, your business needs a vacation from you so it doesn't depend on you. So let's take a look at my journey over the past few years that led me to really stand by this message. So we've got 2020 to 2023. This was me on my own, trying to serve two completely different audiences. I was doing done-for-you services for my artist and coach and entrepreneur clients, and these are the people I've always loved supporting. This is where I really thrive, where I'm in there doing the systemsy stuff and teaching on all of that techie behind-the-scenes back-end stuff. And then the demand happened, I couldn't keep up, and I thought, okay, I'll train tech witches. So then I was talking to another completely different audience. I was talking to the 9-to-5ers or the people who had tried to be coaches and facilitators and wanted to be behind the scenes like me. And it was all well and good to train them, but then where it kind of fell apart was I was giving all my new potential clients away to them because I thought I didn't need clients. And then I was stuck in this launch model where I had to keep filling the course, but that's never what I wanted to do. So then I lost my clients and had no wait list, and I saw it as a sign to focus on building the school and agency. But as I said, that required me to constantly be launching and marketing and promoting and doing the things that I didn't really enjoy doing. It was way too much pressure and inconsistent income, and I was overcomplicating everything. So I went traveling, and then we get to 2024, where I've really been focusing on simplicity and systemization. It's now me and a VA. I have one proximity offer that supports the same type of client at various levels. So there's done for you, done with you, and soon to be launching a community so I can support more people with the same problem. I have clear systems and SOPs. I'm focusing on high leverage activities and delegating or automating the rest. I've got a clear pathway for customers to follow, consistent monthly recurring revenue, and I'm investing in a long-term mentor and community so I can keep learning and growing as well. I'm traveling with ease, knowing my business isn't going to fall apart because it's not completely dependent on me. And the focus is on simplicity and systemization. And this is what I support my clients with. When they bring me into their businesses, it's usually because they're tired of doing everything alone. They want to scale and grow, but they don't want to sacrifice more of their time and give up their freedom to do so. They want their time back to do what they love, and that's where I come in. Does this sound familiar? You feel trapped and exhausted by your business. You feel like all you do is work and there's never enough time to get everything done. You've forgotten about all your big dreams and visions because you're too busy putting out fires. You keep telling yourself success takes sacrifice. If you just work a little harder now, the freedom will come. You feel like you're missing out on so much, but you're scared to take a break from your business. Your to-do list just keeps growing and growing and growing, no matter how productive you are. And your health, relationships, and well-being are suffering, but you can't find a way to prioritize them. This is the survival paradigm that a lot of business owners fall into, and this is what I'm here to support you to get out of. We are here to break free from the busyness. So I've recently been reading the book Clockwork, and I just wanted to introduce you to the clockwork system. So there's 3 phases of business that most entrepreneurs will find themselves in. You've got a line, which is the beginning phases where you're kind of leaping in and you're excited and you've got all these big ideas and you're just starting everything. So this is the stage where you clarify who your business serves. You declare the big promise and you determine your mission and main role of your business. And then you try to align everything around that. So who you're serving, what you're doing, why you're doing it. You're really getting clear on that. And then we move into the next phase, phase 2, which is integrating. This is where you're really focusing on protecting and serving the mission, optimizing time utilization, and capturing systems. And this is where I usually come in to support. And then you've got the third phase, which is acceleration. So this is where you start to build and balance a team and have everyone on board, and you identify opportunities and find and fix bottlenecks. And this is where you should ultimately be able to take a vacation and not have to be there in the business because you can trust it to run without you. That's the ultimate dream, right? To actually have that freedom. So in business, and this is taken from these ideas and concepts are taken from the book Rocket Fuel, another one I highly recommend reading. You've got two kind of roles. You've got the visionary and then you've got the integrator. And generally this is 2 different people, and when you find that perfect match and you work together, then your business can really flourish. So the visionary is likely you, and you're the person that comes up with the new ideas. You've got the creative problem solving. You're responsible for the major external relationships, the culture, the selling the big deals. Basically, you're like a shareholder overlooking and overseeing the business and coming up with all of the creative ideas to help it grow and flourish. The problem with most visionaries is when you're doing everything alone, you don't get the time to focus on this. And so you're stuck in the day-to-day operations, putting out fires, working hard, being productive, getting all these things on the to-do list done and doing all the busy work that you're not actually getting the time to be in your visionary role. And then on the other side, you've got an integrator. So that's the person who's responsible for leading and managing and holding people accountable. They're there to execute on the business plan, to actually take your ideas and implement them and plan them out and make sure the right things are being prioritized. They integrate major functions, they resolve issues, and they make sure that all communication is happening smoothly. So can you kind of start to see how when you have these 2 working alongside each other, it can really give you the space to fully be in your creativity and really bring the big ideas to the table so that your business can grow and flourish and actually scale. And this is taken from Clockwork, and this is their diagram, like directly taken from one of their resources. So I just wanted to make that known. But these are the 4 types of work. There's the doing, which is the execution of a task. There's the deciding, which is assigning action. There's the delegating, which is then getting someone else to do the action. And there's the designing, which is creating the future. So if you're the visionary, you should be leaning more towards the delegating and designing rather than all the doing. I just wanted to also bring in this quote, which is another one from Rocket Fuel, which is, don't mistake activity for productivity. Creativity is productivity. It just doesn't feel like it at first. So you really need to allow yourself time and space to go slow. And sometimes it seems counterintuitive when you feel like there's all these things to do and you just got to do and work and hustle and grind. But really, the best thing you can often do for your business is take time away from it to just think and be present with your thoughts and allow yourself to come up with the ideas and to really be in your creative flow, because that's when you bring the bigger picture and that's where you see the bigger ideas unlocking and unfolding so you can actually help more people. So when you have these roles and you have these ways of work identified, then you can really start to identify the bottlenecks in your business so that you know where your focus should be. And that's the key mistake I see a lot of entrepreneurs making. They're focusing on the wrong areas and they're thinking, I just need to build my brand and like go do all of these fancy photo shoots or pay all of this money for website design and logos and doing all these fancy funnels and complex things and perfecting courses and content behind the scenes, but their problem is lead generation. And none of that stuff is really that important if it's not actually reaching anyone. The key focus, if you're not making money and if you're not getting enough people to have conversations with, is to focus at the beginning, which is the lead generation, and all of that other stuff can come later. So when you're thinking of business, you've got 5 key areas. You've got lead generation, which is connecting with new people. So if you don't have enough people to share your offers with, this is where your attention needs to be. Then you've got lead nurture, which is engaging with your audience, building rapport and trust to lead them to want to become a client. So if you don't have enough clients, this is where your attention generally needs to be. Then you've got conversion, which is turning people in your audience into clients. So this generally goes hand in hand with nurturing because that's what leads to conversion. Then delivery. So a lot of people I know when I start to work with them, they're really focusing on delivery. They're like redoing course modules and upgrading websites and rebranding and doing all of this stuff for the back end, but they don't actually have people coming through. And I'm speaking from experience too, because I was also doing this and I was focusing on making everything so perfect behind the scenes, but it really didn't matter because no one was coming in. So I needed to switch my attention to lead generation. And this is often what the people I start working with also need to do. And once we do that, everything shifts. And then once you get to that point, then yes, delivery becomes important. And then you want to deliver such high quality service that people stay with you or refer others to you. But sometimes delivery is part of the lead generation. Instead of focusing on delivering this epic stuff behind the scenes, why not share your best stuff front of the scenes so that the people who aren't in your world yet get to know, like, and trust you and then want to actually come deeper into your world. You can never give away too much for free. And then the final step is retention. So this is upselling and reselling and retaining clients so you're not stuck on the hamster wheel of constantly having to bring in new people. So this is where you get out of that launch model and have something that's much more solid and balanced and simple, where it's just one offer that you can always have people coming into, and you can have wait lists and systems in place so that there's a consistent flow all the time. And when you know the bottlenecks in your business, it's much easier to come up with the right strategies to focus on the right areas. Then when you know the bottlenecks, then you can start systemizing. So for example, if the area you need to focus on is lead generation, then you would be focusing on content creation, profile growth, lead magnets, brand building, and SOPs and delegating. So delegating things like the profile growth and the stuff that's repetitive and manual, you can hire a VA for that. Then you get to lead nurturing. So this is more where you can start to focus on, okay, creating a funnel or an automated process and implementing systems. So have a way where that lead magnet then leads people into an email list, and you've got a way to stay connected with them and nurture them through more consistent communication. So it's implementing systems and automating stuff. And then to convert, this is where you really go from go to the know, like, trust. You establish yourself as a leader, an authority, and a guide, and you're still focusing on content, but it's also behind the scenes. So like email marketing, workshops, stuff where people can get a longer taste of you and get to know you better, and marketing and strategic big picture ideas and implementation. And then you've got, so that's where your visionary can really come into play, because you're focusing on that bigger picture stuff that's going to convert people. Then you've got the delivery. So this is where you can start to think about, okay, I've got solid systems in place, I've got the foundation set up. How do I deliver something that's going to reach more people and impact more people, and perhaps shift from one to one to one to many? And this is where you can start considering courses, communities, live programs, memberships. So things that people, evergreen stuff that people can buy into at any time, or communities and memberships where people can come and stay, and that continues to build a consistent monthly income that continues to just flow seamlessly. And this is where SOPs and planning and delegation become really important. Again, SOPs and planning and systems is important at every phase, but it helps you to really streamline this area. And then retention is where you really get to be in your visionary, because you're thinking about all of these things that are going to really keep people in your world and turn them from these kind of cold clients who never knew you into raving fans. And then they often do the selling for you, and your whole business model becomes so much easier because you've really established yourself, and you've got people that stay in your world long term that become your raving fans. And this is where you focus on things like project management, audits, reviewing systems and processes, knowing your numbers, analyzing, like actually knowing what's going on in your business, so that you can then think about where to focus and where to put your attention to be able to retain more people. And customer feedback is also really important in this phase. So because most people that come to me are usually stuck in this kind of lead gen phase, this is what I wanted to dive slightly deeper into. And how does that look in action? So lead gen begins with your platform. So whatever social platform you've decided is the one that you want to pour most of your energy and attention into, it's always best to focus on one. Instagram and Facebook can kind of go hand in hand because they're connected, and you can auto post and share and that kind of thing. So that's easy, but still, like, focus on one as your main one, where you're going to focus on growing the audience and really nurturing in that one place. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whichever one you choose, that's where your lead gen begins. And you want to be optimizing your profile. So having things in place so people know what to do and they can really get to know you and dive deep into your content. And so you want to be sharing things like results, lifestyle, and value to warm up your audience and to really position yourself as an authority and a guide and a leader. And then you don't want to become dependent on social media. You don't want that to just be the place where everyone is and you never take them off that platform, because you have no control over social media. Luke could decide to shut everything down tomorrow, and then you lose all your leads, you lose your audience, and you've got no way of reconnecting with people. And we've seen that. People go into panic mode when Instagram has a day where it's shut down and things don't work, and people are like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or they get their accounts blocked and things like that. So be planning and be prepared and be strategic to have ways to continue to communicate with your audience. And that's where a lead magnet comes in really useful. So this is something that you offer to your audience that's free in exchange for them giving you their email. And the important thing here is to actually be generous and actually provide something valuable so that people are really seeing that you are giving them something that's worth their time and worth their email. It's not just a strategy to tick off a list. It's actually saying, hey, I've got this thing that I really would love to give to you because I just want to give to my audience. And whether you decide to pay me or not, it feels really good to share this with you. So make it valuable and put some effort into it. And that can be anything from an ebook, a training video, a mini course, a toolkit, a checklist, whatever relates to your niche and your business. Figure that out and provide that, and have a way that when people ask you for it, you're collecting their email. So then you're adding them to an email marketing platform. And then that brings you to the next phase, which is email nurturing. So this is where you warm customers up through automated emails, and you can have series that just go out based on when they opt in. And then you can also send out regular newsletters based on other content you're sharing and updates you want to share with them, and like things you don't share with your audience elsewhere, you could share in your email. So you can then nurture people and really form a deeper relationship with them in their inbox. And you've got a higher chance of reaching people through email because they've actually opted in, they've given you permission to connect with them, and it's going into their inbox. And then you've got conversion. So this is allowing customers to experience the product. So maybe it's giving them a free trial or a little taste of it, or coming to a paid workshop, which is like a part of your bigger program, things like that. So it's allowing customers who aren't ready to go all in to still have an experience with you and get to know what it is that you offer and how you offer, and see if they actually like the way you deliver and if they resonate with your values and if they align with what you do. And then if the person is aligned and if it's a fit, then they become a buyer. So this person becomes so warmed up by your free content that they buy. So that's the funnel, that's the lead gen in action. It doesn't need to be all this complex stuff. It can be as simple as that, leading people from your social platform to an email, to a paid thing, and hopefully then upselling, retaining them, and turning them into raving fans. And that's just two different pictures because I like creating diagrams. So now that we've kind of gone through this, I wanted to just share a few examples of what I've done in some of the teams I've worked in over the years and some of my recent clients. Like, I've been involved in some pretty epic launches, some really cool programs. This top one is the sales bot that we had for one of the programs we were running, and we had over 400 members sign up for it, and about 100 members signed up on the last night because we did this series of posts with which was like, last minute unicorns, come and join. And then we went offline and went off to do a ritual for another program we were closing out. And 24 hours later, we opened up the sales bot and we're like, oh my God, what just happened? So that was pretty cool. I was in a team where we were doing 150K per launch, and we were doing about 4 or 5 launches a year. So that was really cool. And then I've been working with another client recently where she was just selling evergreen courses and some one-to-one stuff. And now she's launched a membership. And within 1 month, we've gone from 15,000 to 25,000. So we've increased by 10,000. We've increased her monthly revenue by 10,000 just by launching a membership. And that's going to be monthly recurring revenue now, and that's going to keep growing because it's something people can join whenever and stay in long term. So these are the kinds of things that can be achieved when you know what to focus on and you have clear strategies and you have systems and processes in place to really amplify what needs to happen in your business. And just wanted to share some testimonials. These are clients I've worked with over the years. I have worked with a lot of epic people, and it's always nice to receive feedback. Like when you're working with people long term and you're kind of just messaging all day, every day, it's not like these grand, big transformations, but then you look back over time and you're like, oh, wow, we did all of this together and we achieved this. And so these are just some of the messages that really touched my heart, where it's like one of my clients paid me so much more because she just really trusted in that and really believed in what we were doing together. And other clients got excited for their work again because they got to focus on the things they love, because they weren't stuck in that operational techie stuff that gets them out of their creative flow. Socials crushing, grateful for your genius, just all of these really beautiful reflections of what's possible when you hire someone to take away the things you don't enjoy doing and you get to focus more on doing what you love. Or when you learn how to systemize and put in the time and effort so that over the long term, then you get your time back, you get your freedom back, you get to focus on creativity and ideas and have other things in place for the execution and operations and implementation. And what I really want to highlight and remind you of here is this is not something that just happens overnight. It takes time to build systems. It takes time to identify bottlenecks and reach these places. But when you have someone supporting you and when you know what areas to focus on and what to highlight, it does eliminate a lot of that time and that frustration, and it really supports you to be able to focus on the areas you love most. So I hope you got some value out of that. I hope you have some ideas of where to focus on next in your business. And I just want to remind you, my point here is not to convince you of anything. If you still need convincing, I can send you some resources shortly. But for you, if you are watching this video and you've been intrigued by my journey and the model and the systems and processes I've shared, and you think that something like this would work for you, I would love to invite you to send me a DM and you can test drive bringing some of these systems into your own business. And if you want to find out more about what it would look like to work with me to gain back more time and break free from the busyness in your business, I want to invite you to find me on Facebook or Instagram. There'll be links below this video, and you can just DM me the word systems, or maybe we've already been chatting, and in that case, just send me a message and say you've watched this video. There's zero pressure from me. You're a smart person. You know what you know. You're intuitive. But if you do want to work with someone that has already made all the mistakes and gone through all the lessons and put all of this stuff in place for myself and other people, so you don't have to start from scratch and reinvent the wheel and figure it all out on your own, I would love to invite you to reach out to find out more information. And If you're not yet ready for that, that's totally cool. Like I said at the start, there's no expectations. We can totally go our separate ways. You can stay and you can get more resources from me. I'm hoping this has been helpful, and if you do want to go deeper, then there's more resources under this video which you can go ahead and check out. But for those of you who know you're ready and you want to find out more about what it would look like to work together, and more importantly, build this business model that is built around your life, that's like something I really want to hone in here. This is lifestyle. We are not about hustle. We're not about grind. We are really here to focus on lifestyle first. And if that's what you want to build, then I want to invite you to send me a DM now. And to everyone else, thanks for being here, and I look forward to connecting again soon. And just so you know where to find me, these are my places. So you can connect with me on Instagram or Facebook. That's where I'm most active. I'm planning to start putting more content on YouTube too, so you can find me here as well. But these are the places where you can message me and connect, and I would love to hear from you. Again, thank you so much for watching, for being here, for giving me your time and being open to new possibilities. I really, really do hope you got some value out of this video, and I'm always available for questions as well if you want to reach out. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for connecting, and I'll speak to you soon.